Okay, we have a minute until we can get started. So don't worry, everything is going to be recorded. And I have our wonderful Dia, who is the admin. She is the moderator. She's just amazing. And any questions, please just type away. I will get to them, all of them. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝, and my students like to call me Coach Joe. I'm an independent educational consultant and a study skills coach. And my passion is to help teens reach their maximum potential. So please don't try to privately message me on the Zoom, because I'm not going to be able to see it. I have wonderful, just going to mute, Dia, who is helping us out. She's an amazing moderator. I mean, I wouldn't do any webinar without her. Okay, so she will make sure that I answer everybody's question. And so yeah, please type away. There is nothing like a silly question if you're embarrassed.
Can't hear you.
Dia, you can't hear us? Dia, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. So I think there might be something wrong on your end.
That's right. Yeah. Can everybody hear me? A thumbs up is good.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So I have muted everybody, and please, yeah, I've stopped your videos as well. Okay, so any question, please type away. If I start looking at your questions before your presentations, I'm never going to finish. So let's get started. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening with me. So I'm just going to get started, okay? Okay. Okay, so Dia, which screen are you seeing, Dia?
Right now, I am seeing your presentation, Accelerated Medical Program.
Okay, we are in the right place. Guys, put on your seatbelt. Exit signs are on the either side. I'm just kidding. Just grab your coffee and sit on tight. There's no need to take on any notes or anything. Everything is recorded. I will send you the recording. And yeah, you'll get a lot of information. My webinars are packed with content. My whole marketing team keeps making fun of me. It's like, Joe, you kill people with content, right? So, but what's the point in doing a half job, right? I like digging deep, and that's my nature. So you'll get a lot of content, a lot of depth. Any questions, please type away. Dia will accumulate everything and I'll get to it, okay? Okay, so you're here. I'm going to give you an insight into the different options for medical field for high schoolers that they can pursue after their high school, okay? So who is Coach Joe? Who am I? I mean, right? So basically, I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I'm a positive psychology coach. I coach ADHD kids and kids on the autism spectrum. Coach, that's all I can do. And I'm trained under Peg Dawson. She's a leading psychologist for the executive functioning skills, which is the prefrontal cortex of the brain. So that's where I teach kids study skills and everything. I'm a meditation instructor. I did my college counseling from UC Berkeley. And now the students from UC Berkeley, they shadow me for my counseling methodology and everything. So that's a bit about my background. What is my purpose? I feel like every child is unique, and it's my purpose to help them reach their maximum potential. I mean, however way it is, like either their personality or getting them into college or whatever it is that I can provide. I do that. That's my passion. I quit my corporate job to be a coach and a counselor. So my entrepreneurial effort is Gifted Gabber, where I do all the educational services. I have Gabber Girl, where it's social media marketing for women entrepreneurs. Then I have Nerd Boy, which is for IT services and everything. I also have a nonprofit, Inspire Youth, which my students use it as a platform to teach and coach and mentor other teens who are underprivileged or want to showcase their talent, right? So those are my efforts. My family, I have two sons. My husband graduated from Harvard. My older son, he studies in Georgia Tech. He's in the second year. My younger one is in 9th grade, and I live in Pennsylvania, Philly suburbs. And I have 20 years of corporate experience. I just quit that to get into coaching, counseling. So teens are my world. I'm also doing research. I don't know when I'm going to finish that on Gen Z, which is teen and their productivity. So I'm always on the lookout for techniques and everything to enhance their performance. Okay. Okay. So let's get to today's agenda. What are you going to learn? Number one, you're going to get an insight on the different medical paths that are there. Then I'm going to give you details on Bsmd and Bsdo. I'm going to give you an insight into this DO, which is Doctor of Osteopathy. It's a very nice niche. It's not a niche. It's a very nice line to go into it as well. And thirdly, what makes a good applicant, right? What is it that your child needs to have to be a very competitive Bsmd applicant, and to see if it's actually this program is right for your child, right? It is intense, and I'm going to go over many things. And I'm going to also provide you the solution that I have and my success story with the Bsmd program, okay? So you have to stay until the end because I have a secret announcement at the end. So that is only for people who stay till the end, okay? So let's get started. What are the different medical paths, okay? So the number one is the traditional path where students do 4 years of undergraduate, and there is no set rule as to what you can major in. You can just about major in anything like computer science or anything, but they have a list of things like organic chemistry, biology, and math that you should have had. Then you need like an MCAT score. 515 is the average MCAT score. A lot of highly competitive MD schools have much higher MCAT scores, and you need to have extracurricular activities, volunteering, recommendations, and then you apply to the med school, okay? This is a pretty good route because you can't expect a 16 or a 17-year-old to decide what they're going to do in life and commit to like that 8 years thing. So a lot of students, they sort of test it out. And also they decide, okay, yeah, I want to go into the medical field, or no, I will do research or something else. So this is the traditional route. There is also something in between, which is the early assurance program, where you get into the program, but you don't know if you've been selected to the MD program until the sophomore year. After your second year, they go over your grades and everything, and they see if you can really apply to the med school, okay, based on the performance of your 2 years. Okay, so there is an option that this is somewhere in between. It's called the EAP, which is the early assurance program. This is quite popular as well. Okay, the third one, which is the most popular and the most difficult one, is the combined Bsmd. So what is this program, right? it's actually either it's a squished up, it's combined. You do the undergrad and your med school, and you come out with an MD after 8 years or 7 years or 6 years, but it's a combined one. So when you apply after your high school, it's assured that you are going to get into the MD program. Some of the colleges do have some further MCAT requirements, don't have, that is all there, but then this is a combined program where you're going to come out with an MD degree at the end of it, okay? And I'm also going to explain to you that you can even have a Bachelor of Arts. You can do a BA MD or a BSmd, okay? So those are the three sort of options that you have here to get into the medical field. I'm going to give you some advantages of the early assurance program. I already mentioned that. So like I told you, the second option is somewhere in between both of them. Basically, for students who don't want to pursue a BSmd program, and early assurance is sort of a good alternative. I like a mid ground, okay? And also you'll have 2 extra years to determine like whether you really want to go into it or not. So that is the early assurance program. Okay. Any questions about the EAP, please type away. Dia will make sure, our admin will make sure that I address them. Okay. Any questions, type away. Okay. Now I'm going to delve into DO. I know a lot of, this is a very attractive option that a lot of people don't consider. And I want to like sort of educate you or bring this to you. It's a very, very popular program as well. Okay, so basically, I'm going to compare it with the MD and the DO. I know I'm starting off with DO because I want to spend significant amount of time on the BSmd program. Okay, so what is the difference between MD and DO? So MD students, they basically learn allopathy, which is the modern medicine. And DO, they learn osteopathy. It's like osteopathy. Osteopathy is a holistic kind of your body. It's a different philosophy, and they actually incorporate osteopathic manipulative treatment, right? So these are different lines, but if you see that they end up coming into mainstream, the DO graduates do come into the mainstream. And have you ever wondered what degree of your physician has? My physician, Dr. Calvin, whom I see, is a BSdo. Okay, so they do surgery and everything. It's extremely popular, the DO field. Okay, so DOs are fully licensed physicians. They practice in all areas, and it's one of the fastest growing segments in the healthcare, the BSdo. There's also BADO. I will go into that. And there are wonderful schools like Nova Southeastern in Florida. It's a fantastic school. One of my students applied there. My student did get into the pre-dental program there in Nova Southeastern. So there are many colleges that give you this option of osteopathy. And also there are a lot of students who after their undergrad, after doing the MCAT, they do go to DO schools. So you have 2 paths, MD and DO. Got it? And what are the advantages of the BSdo program? BSdo programs are a little less competitive. I mean, not a whole lot. There is a lot of competition, but they are less competitive as compared to the BSmd program. And also, they're not as rigorous, a little slightly rigorous because their philosophies are a little different. So that's the difference between MD and BSdo programs. Usually when I build my students' college list, I ask them to put in some DO schools as well, and we do put some DO schools. Okay, and like DO physicians, they are mainstream doctors. They're mostly in the primary care. Like I said, my physician is BSdo. They are in family medicine, they're in internal medicine, they're OBGYN, pediatrics, they're all in the mainstream. But it's just that a lot of people are not familiar with the DO program. Okay, so now let's get into the BSmd program. Okay, that is why you guys are here, right? right? But I had to tell you about that other wonderful option. I'm going to go over the complete Bsmd program now. And also I'm going to talk about what makes an attractive candidate and everything. Okay, any questions, please type away. I'll address them. Okay, so basically BS and MD. So it's also called as the direct medical program, where it allows a student to do the BS, the bachelor's degree, followed by an MD degree without having to go through a whole admission process. Okay, like that whole writing your MCAT, you are uncertain whether you have to go, oh my God, am I going to get admitted? You don't have all that uncertainty. It's taken care of after your high school, like before your undergrad program. So that is what essentially is the Bsmd program. Okay. So how hard is it to get into the Bsmd program? It is notoriously hard. Like, I don't know, we were looking at stats when I was building Shivani, one of my students' profile for this year. We looked at Penn State, they accept like 28 students, I think. And UPenn, because she's in the East Coast, Pennsylvania, even that was like 30 or something. They are, because it's an extremely rigorous program, they want to make sure that the students are really ready and they can put up with that rigor, right? I mean, it's not fair to expect a 17-year-old to commit to like 8 to 10 years or sometimes 13 years of continuously studying. So the acceptance rate is somewhere between 1 and 5 or 10%. That is how super selective this program is. Okay. And I'm going to give you more insight into Bsmd. You can do Bsmd and you can also do Bamd. And if you look closely, a few colleges only offer Bamd, like Drew College in New Jersey. So Drew College has combined with the New Jersey Medical School. So there is Bamd, and Drexel also has Bamd. And I have a student who's doing Bamd because she wanted to do arts and history. So the first 2 years they do arts, and the second 2 years they catch up with all that organic chemistry, the biology, the math, everything needed for the MD program, right? So these are the two options that are popular when it comes to Bsmd and Bamd. And again, you have the same thing for DO, BSDO, BADO. Any questions about the Bsmd, BADO, please type away. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about the accelerated programs. There are 6 years, which is almost extinct. You won't find them. I mean, nobody can finish. They are not going to compromise on the MD part of it, the 4 years. They will only sort of play around with the bachelor's duration. So this is very rare. You can even forget about it. I shouldn't even have this slide because it's almost gone. 6 years is very rare. 7 years is more popular. My student Shreya got into Augusta Bsmd program, which is 3+4. Okay, some students do that. Some students are like, no, it's going to be too rigorous. I'm going to do the 4-year. And the 8-year is the one that is most common. Okay, so these are the options that you have for the Bsmd. Okay, any questions about the Bsmd? Okay, so next let's get to what makes a great Bsmd profile. I mean, what is it that they're looking for? Why is it that their acceptance rate is lower than Stanford or Harvard, like 1 to 5%? And what is it that they're looking for? So this is what I'm going to go over. So these are the key ingredients for the recipe of making the Bsmd. These are the key ingredients. Number 1 is academics. Okay, so extremely important. And also for people who are not familiar with the college planning process, please review my previous videos on the college planning webinar. This is sort of an advanced webinar, which is being built on top of my base foundation of the college planning webinar. Okay, so if you want to understand the college process, you've got to go look at it. This is advanced. This is building on top of that. Okay, so number 1 is academics. That is it. And I'm going to give you the details of what they look for academics. Second is extracurriculars. Third is recommendations. Fourth is leadership. Fifth is essay. My God, essays are my secret sauce. And that is, I mean, I will go over, but essays are a very critical component that oftentimes people ignore, and that is very important. I will get to that. So academics, I'm going to go over the academics. What do they look? So for academics, there are three main areas. One is GPA, grades. 4 is unweighted GPA, and beyond that, some of them expect the weighted, but almost 4 near perfect GPA. Class rank, I know some of you must be thinking, oh my God, my school doesn't offer class rank. You have to be in the top 10. Like if you're applying to Hofstra and one more college, I forgot what it is. Hofstra, I know, is notorious. It will tell you, if you're not in the top 5 or 10%, please don't even apply. Okay, you have to be in the top 5 or 10% of your class for the class rank. And like you should have poured in your AP and IB courses. If it is there, it should be there in your resume. Got it? That's the 3 academic factors. Okay, any question about the academic factors or anything, please type away. Okay, next is courses. This is what I call the golden rectangle. Okay, the chemistry, I'm start with math. You need math in that. Calculus AB is preferred. Okay, and you need biology, of course, AP Bio, chemistry, and physics. So these are the 4 courses, the golden rectangle that they need to see in your transcript or in your course thing. Okay. Yeah, and this is a very, very important slide. And these are the things that they absolutely look for. Like I mentioned, high GPA, course rigor, like how many APs, how many IBs, how many you've taken. I know students who've taken like 20 APs. And class rank, if it's offered, and then AP awards. Are you an AP Scholar Award? Like, did you like the AP test scores? Do you have a capstone diploma in your school? I live in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. They have a wonderful capstone diploma program where if you do AP seminar, AP research, and 4 APs, and you score 3 or 4, I forget, 3, like 4 or above, then they give you a capstone diploma. So they're looking at awards, academic awards. This program is heavy on academics. You've got to be there. You have to be like the top, right? I'm not saying that the other students don't have a chance in the medical career. No, I'm just specifically zeroing in on the Bsmd program. Got it? That's what we are here for. And of course, college credits and everything, like piling up your courses. And these are some of the scores that are needed by colleges. Of course, if you're in the national merit, it's good. You get a lot of merit in colleges. UT Dallas is full ride. USC is full ride, Boston University and all that. So national merit is absolutely a good thing to have. And your SAT scores need to be like in the 1550s. University of Alabama is my favorite school for BSMD, and my student got in. She didn't go there. She got, like, I'll tell you the different processes involved. She got into the first step and she got 28K merit because her SAT, ACT score was like up there. So it's very important. And in the BSMD program, especially, they're going to look at your scores. And please, we are coming away from the coronavirus and everything, and don't get confused over the test optional and everything. The test optional could be there for other degrees, but for BSMD, they look at your scores. It's absolutely essential. It's not going away. It's going to be there forever. Okay. Next, I'm going to focus on the extracurricular activity. You've got to have a wow factor, a really, a BSMD candidate needs to have a wow factor. So what are the extracurricular activities that you can perform for BSMD or the medical program? 1 is volunteering. Of course, we know that. 2 is shadowing. 3 is research. And I'm going to spend a lot of time on research because of the coronavirus. I've been asking a lot of my physician friends for shadowing for my BSMD students, and they still are not allowing. And I'll tell you an alternative that you can have to build your extracurricular activities. So you need to have like a wow, a pop factor. What is it that is distinguishing you from everything? However you serve the community. Community service is extremely important in this, okay? So yeah, volunteering, I'm gonna further dig down into the different categories. In volunteering, you can go to the research clinics, nursing home, hospice cares, hospitals, but due to the coronavirus, it's a lot less now. I'm in Downingtown School District. They also have an allied medical program where in the senior year, half the year, they go to Paoli Hospital, but I don't know what is the status of it. This is kind of an iffy area. Because of still the hospitals opening up. And of course, shadowing. Shadowing is extremely important. I tell my students to put a smiley face and go to your pediatrician. Can I please shadow you, please, pretty please? If they allow, that's the best place to go. Physicians, I mean, you as much as possible, dentist, chiropractor, therapist, psychiatrist. My student shadowed a psychiatrist, and his whole essay was about that. So these are, and my other student shadowed a dentist. He was going into the pre-dental program. So yeah, so that is it. Chiropractor, anybody in the medical field, you can like sort of shadow, okay? Next is research. I'm going to spend a lot of time here because of coronavirus, a lot of places have closed down. And how do you showcase your profile to the colleges, right? By doing research. And that is what research is something that is really, really looked upon highly by colleges, whether it is for the medicine or STEM or anything. I've seen a pattern developing that my students who had research in their profiles and we used them to write the supplemental essays, they got tons of scholarships from colleges and acceptances as well. Okay, so now I'm going to dig down into the types of research that you can do. One is the publishing your research paper, which has to be peer reviewed. You do it under an expert. Next is the labs and the clinics and the hospitals with universities and researchers. That is becoming very limited because of the coronavirus again, and very limited thing, but there is publishing a research paper that you can do online as well, right? So these are the different types of research that you can perform. Any questions about the extracurricular activities or research or shadowing, please type away, okay? The third thing is the recommendations. Okay, so Vanderbilt is like almost the Ivy League for medical school, costs quite a penny. They are very, very particular about teacher recommendations or counselor recommendations, got it? So what are they looking for in a recommendation, right? If you dig deep, a layer deep, we're like just peeling the onions, right? So they are expecting comments on maturity of the student. They're going to expect intellectual curiosity, whether the student participated in the class, whether they showed some determination to succeed, and leadership skills. Oftentimes the teacher recommendation is like the most ignored or the least thing that they put their attention to. But these, like the teacher recommendation is all class performance. The counselor recommendation is how the student performed as compared to the whole school and compared to the cream of the crop. Okay, so it's very important. Like I'm going to go over the different stages of the Bsmd application, and the second stage, teacher recommendation, is extremely important, right? So that is where we are at. Okay, and of course, leadership skills. Like Bsmd program is looking for, I don't know, I'm like, the number of students I have interviewed and the number of students that I have placed, I mean, I see a pattern emerging. They really need a top-notch student, right? Who is like, I don't know, they were like born that way or whatever. They need to exude that like kind of qualities, like be very good in academics, like be very kind, like give back to the community, like have excellent communication skills, have leadership skills, right? They expect you to have like a lot of mental toughness, a lot of ambition, and all that. I mean, that is leadership is also a key ingredient in Bsmd. I mean, I don't want you to assume that it's just plain academics. You need to show community service and kind of leadership positions that you've held as well. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Next, any questions about the components so far? Okay, so I'm going to go into essays. Let me tell you this, essays enhance an application by 10 times. And essays are the most difficult part and the part where students struggle the most to write. I mean, how can you expect a student to write like 30 or 40 essays, like how without guidance? I mean, I find it so ridiculous that, I mean, like expecting a student to do the whole college application on their own, right? It is very super hard, right? I feel like every kid wants to excel. They need the right guidance. They just need the right amount of guidance. I mean, you're all from the corporate world, working in like different environments where you have a project manager, you have this, you have an agile methodology, you have everything. What do these kids have? They're supposed to get good grades, extracurricular activities, get leadership, community service, and still work on their college applications. I mean, it's difficult. I get confused myself. I have to like refer to so many things. Sometimes I have to ask my colleagues and everything. It's a lot of pressure, and I spend a lot of time on essays. Got it? So basically essays, they need to be sort of stand out. They have to create a lasting impression. They have to be emotional. Oh my God, I went through this. They have to be interesting so that the admission officer will go through your application unique. You have to gotta make it stand out. And it's got to have something very specific about your future or your plans, and it should be quick and it should not drone. And trust me, my older son didn't have any of this. I mean, when I used to see his essays, like, dude, can you please get to the point? It's like the second paragraph and you've not gotten to the point. It's super hard. It's hard. And I have a unique formula for supplemental essays and for the main essay. My student who got into Cornell, she's like, Joe, your supplemental essay formula really helped me get in. And my student who got into Harvard, pre-med, I still remember her essay. When the dad called and told me, oh, my daughter got into Harvard. I'm like, oh, what's her name? Oh, but I remember the essay that she wrote. She wrote an essay on public speaking, and she wanted to write about how like appreciating public speaking was like her mother's bitter gourd recipe. I know it sounds weird, but it got her in, right? So that's how much time I spend on essays and everything. Okay, and oh, this is another one.
It's the 30-minute mark.
Okay, thank you, Dia. Thank you for reminding. Okay, got it. Okay, let's go. So next step is, first you write your Common App. I'm going to show you that process to get into the college, right? And after that, the college has another application. You are either invited to apply to the med school. So that med school application is, oh my God, it's so complicated. I mean, it's a lot of work, okay? So again, you need to submit like a lot of essays, like why medicine? Why this program? Why do you want to be a doctor? And all that. They have like 5 more essays. I was working with Shreya and I'm like, what? You can reuse them, but it's going to take a lot of time doing that essay and putting in recommendations. Their recommendation request is a little different. So it's another application process in itself. And there's a lot of essays to write. Okay, so after the second process is the last process, which is called the mini medical interview, which you are invited in January or February, if at all you get through the program. And every college has a different way of interviewing students. Okay, they either get together in a group and they interview you. Drexel is like that, or they call it informally or whatever it is. This medical interview is very, very important. Only 10% of the Bsmd applicants, they get this far. I mean, if you've gotten invited into the interview, that means you will get that. I mean, of course, you will need. I mean, you have a pretty good chance. It's called the direct medical interview. Okay. So some of the potential questions that they ask in the MD interview is, why do you want to become a doctor? They are checking for your mental toughness because it's a commitment. And also you should see that they are afraid of dropouts, right? So it is a tough program. So that's what they're looking for. Like, what are your interests? What have you learned from your research experiences and all? That is something that they ask you in the BSMD interview questions, okay? So this is, this is the whole process. Now is the point in time when I'm going to ask you how you guys are doing. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Any thoughts about the whole process? Any questions? Just type away, okay? We are not done. We're just segueing into it. So I don't know why this is not displaying. Okay, I had some pretty pictures. Aren't they pretty? But this is not displaying, okay? So basically, question was, how are you doing? Of course, you're doing okay, I think. And the question is, how do you beat the competition, right? How do you put yourself in the top 1 or 5%, right? Or is your situation like this where, okay, the picture is not that great, I'm sorry. I lost the picture somehow. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about Joe's secret sauce, or Joe's success story. 90% of my students get into, my students get into 90% of the colleges they apply. Over 15 of them have gotten multiple scholarships from different colleges, and they get into, totally they've gotten into like 110 colleges, and totally they've gotten over 2 million combined in scholarships, right? So that is my motto, is the way I build my college list. I try to get the maximum, look at the student and try to get the maximum potential or the financial merit aid. This is not need-based. My students all get scholarships. It's not the need-based. I do pro bono work for need-based students as well, okay? So the acceptances, I'm going to go specifically in the medical acceptances. Like I mentioned, my student got into Harvard pre-med. She also got into the Texas A&M NMed Bsmd program, where only 4 or 5 students get like full tuition or something. She got in, but she's going into Harvard. Then this is my other student who got into Augusta Bsmd program. This is a 3+4 Bsmd program, like 3 years undergrad and 4 years of med school. She lives in Georgia, Atlanta, so she wanted to stay local. She got into Mercer. She got into, of course, Augusta. She's going to Augusta. She got into University of Alabama, Birmingham. She didn't want to go out of state. She'll get the Zell Miller scholarship as well because she's from Atlanta. Okay, and Case Western is a very, very good popular destination for pre-med. A lot of students go to Case Western because it's an exceptional research university, okay? So students have the option of doing the BSMD or doing an undergrad, and my students have won scholarships of like 26,500 from Case Western. Okay, and Rensselaer is a very, very popular destination as well for pre-med students. And my student won $42K in scholarship. She was my research student. She did research with us, with Dr. Raj and us. Her topic was marine-based medicines and everything. It was a beautiful paper that she wrote. And then yeah, and then she did my counseling also with me. Okay, so right now I have a mini exercise for you. I just want you to go over my website. Basically, there's a lot of things that you can learn, and in the services you can also, I have a lot of freebies that you can go over. I'm just going to go here. There are a lot of free courses like FAFSA, affordability, gifted. Mental health is a main thing for me. So please, I created this program with Dr. Rujuta. She's a mental health therapist. They are like small programs that you can go over. And I also have a lot of free resources. Where is the free resources? Oh yeah, freebies are here. A lot of free resources that you can download. It's on Gifted Gabber. There's a college checklist. There's a beginner guide, resume template, just about everything that is there on my website. Okay. And I just wanted to present to you based on my research, like after going to like placing students and everything, and having gone to the course in UC Berkeley, where they teach you the different components of counseling and placing students. I came up with two unique programs which target the BSMD or the medical or the STEM or anything basically. One is publishing a research journal, because I created this program because during the coronavirus, my students did not have any extracurricular activities. They were home and we were like panicking as to how to show colleges our intent. So I created this program. Then I have the comprehensive college counseling, where I help students through the complete journey of application, okay? So I'm going to go over the research program. It's my passion project, okay? It all started when my son was 15. He was in school, in the Downingtown School District. He did AP research, AP seminar, cryptocurrency, and all that thing was his jam. And he wanted to publish a paper, and he couldn't, because we didn't know the process and we didn't know how to go about it. And I was thinking about it, like, how do you start this program for high school students? And I came across a wonderful researcher. He went to Indian Institute of Science in India, and he's like the vaccine specialist, a research professor in University of South Florida. He's a toxicologist, chemist, and he's a social farmer. He has his own farm in Florida. So I literally like begged him and said, hey, let's start a research program for students. So a research is a research. It's not a blog, only if you work under an expert, right? So he runs this program. He's an amazing mentor. Basically, like I mentioned, he's a vaccine developer, chemist, toxicologist, and everything. So students do research under him, and they write a 3,000 word research paper, which he reviews it, okay? And then it is their paper. They can publish it anywhere, and I help them publish the paper as well. So it gets published in Journal of Student Research, which accepts high school students. So I want to show you one of my students' paper that got published. Here it is, ta-da! So Om Patil was our student in the research program. He did research on effects of stress on insulin production across different generations. I mean, if you see my students, the amount of research, I mean, the number of students who have done, all their papers are published here. But it's recognized if it's published in this journal. It gets recognized there as well, but I publish it here as well, because if they Google their name, it will land here, right? So all these are the research that my students have done. Okay, and yeah, it's amazing. So this kid did a lot of work. He really worked hard, and now his paper is published. And what you do is, when your paper is published, you get this DOI link that you put in your resume. So when you're creating your resume for colleges, this is a student who got into the dental program in UPIT. If you see here, you can link this basically to your published paper. Okay, so that is something that is extremely important, because when you put your Common App, there are some colleges that will ask you to put their resume. So this is a fantastic extracurricular activity, and it helps you with writing your supplemental essays. So my students, one did research on marine-derived medicine. Another did research on prosthetics. So all of them got scholarships. Prosthetics kid got scholarships from Case Western, Nova Southeastern, and everything. And he's going to Pitt because he got a lot of merit from Pitt. So any questions about the research paper? Got it? This is the research paper that I have. And I want to tell you why research is important. And if you can see here, this is an acceptance letter from Duke, a handwritten acceptance letter from Duke, where it's saying that I enjoyed reviewing your application, and the admissions committee was impressed by your innovative projects and research progress. You see, Duke. at Duke, you can continue innovating in maker space like Foundry and everything. So based on the trend that I have been seeing of late, because of all the Corona thing and everything, online research programs are like popping up like anything, and they're very, very popular. And the thing is, colleges are looking at them because it shows them that a student has the intent. It's not like you need to find the cure for cancer, but it is like the student has really worked to deeply learn something. It's to deeply learn something, and the output is there. Got it? Any questions about the impact of research or doing secondary research paper reviews? Please type away. I'll answer them. Now I'm going to come over to the Bsmd comprehensive counseling that I offer. So basically, there are 3 steps. I don't know what happened to the stock picture. So these 3 steps are basically, So basically, there is the common app, the first level, first gatekeeper, where you apply to the colleges. And then after that, they tell you whether you've been invited or not to their medical school. And they will give you that link to submit your medical application. You get into the medical school. And once you're selected, you have the mini medical interview. So these are the 3 steps that I counsel my students on. Okay. And I know this is like a huge laundry list of things that I go over. It is needed. So there are like over 40 or 45 components that are there that I take care for the comprehensive college counseling. Okay. And I wanted to review the other summer programs that I offer. These are the categories of programs that I offer. Basically, it's college preparation. If you go here, it's divided like this. The college counseling, I have these. Then publishing the research paper, basically. And I have leadership and entrepreneurial courses that I offer. And I offer internship. So wonderful, Dia, that you see, who is my moderator. She's my intern. I mean, she joined my content intern, and one day I called her, oh, Dia, I don't have anybody for my webinar. The regular person is like not there. She's like, Joe, I'll take care. And from now on, it's like we are a team, like internship. I offer internships, and I'm building an internship program as well. I'm reaching out to other businesses to sort of absorb interns. It's a project in itself. And the other programs that I offer are all these. Research is through Dr. 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐥𝐝. AI, I have an amazing instructor, and every program that I build, it's backwards. The way I build it is I first see how it will impact the college. It's not just a course that they go to. Everything matters. How does it matter as an extracurricular activity? What is it that they show? Your student has to stand out. So that is how I build my program. AI is project-based. It's not like they're just going to go to a course and learn. They're going to solve a real life problem. And I have an expert for that. Okay, and so is entrepreneurial course. Your child wants to do a startup. We're going to teach you how to do the startup, and you have an output that colleges, you can show it to the colleges, right? Everything is showing to the colleges and building your personality. That is how most of my programs are built. They're not like the run-on-the-mill programs. So I'm not alone. I get the best instructors that are out there. It's just not me. I don't believe that I'm the only one who can serve kids. I have Dr. Raj, and this is Ram Prasad, who runs my AI, my essay mentor, my entrepreneur coach, my coding coach. And this is Mariana. She's my classmate from UC Berkeley. She's very good at list building and everything. So I have my whole network in UC Berkeley, and we sort of like counselors, we exchange everything. So I have a whole gamut of like the best instructors in the world. And they are supported by my, I don't know what happened to this picture. They're supported by my team. Of course, her picture came up. I have Smrita, who's the program developer and coordinator. She does all that. I have Aisha, who's my sales lead, and Samriddhi. You must be seeing all the wonderful social media posts. She takes care of them. So this is my Gifted Gabber team. And I'm launching, I just launched the research program today, right? So if anybody were on the wait list, you would have gotten an email. Otherwise, I'm launching it just today. and it's limited seats because of the amount of work that we put in. It's extremely rigorous. It's a lot of work. We ensure that your student writes the research paper. That is the assurance that we are giving. So it's a lot of work. I just want to go over how to register basically. So you can go to Gifted Gapper and research programs. I'm just going to put the link there. This is the research program that is there that you can enroll in, which is run by Dr. Raj, of course. Dr. Raj runs the course, and then we have other people supporting that. We have a coordinator, we have a TA, we have research interns. My previous students or any student who has published a research paper, we are going to match them up, and they have mentors to do that. And then I also teach them how to write a research paper. So that is what they have in summer. And if you apply summer 25 at the checkout, you will get a $25 discount, okay? So with this, these are some of the email addresses that we have. This is our website. You can get in touch with me there. There's email there, and there's also a phone number there and everything. So let's start with the questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So let's start with questions.
Okay. So would you happen to know the retention rate in the various schools? The students that get accepted in the program, the students that end up getting accepted in the program and wind up eventually graduating?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I don't have those numbers on hand, but that is the whole research on the colleges that we do. Retention rate, internships, and all those are important components that I use to build a college list. Yes, I don't have the numbers on hand, but I use that to build them. Yeah, good question.
Is EAP available in most colleges, or is it restricted to specific colleges? How does one apply for it?
So EAP, you can, like I said, we have a college list, and I work closely with the student to find out whether they want to do the traditional, the EAP, or the Bsmd. And based on that, I build a college list. Not all colleges offer EAP. It's again, quite exclusive. Yeah.
If we elect to do Bsmd with the school, will that mean we do not have to do MCATs?
See, that's a great question. There is no standard rule with the Bsmd program. Okay, some of them have an MCAT rule, some of them don't. It depends on the college. The highly competitive school like Penn State has an MCAT requirement. You should maintain your GPA and get an above average MCAT score. If you don't get that, then you're dropped from the Bsmd program. So it depends from college to college.
Okay. For early assurance programs, do they need an MCAT, or is it only the first 2 years for medical school?
It's like first 2 years, and again, they may require an MCAT. Again, the question I'm going to ask you is, would you want to go see a doctor or a surgeon who's gotten a high MCAT score or an average MCAT score? Right? So that is what it is. The highly competitive MD colleges will definitely have an MCAT requirement. If you are you've gone through the traditional path and you're trying to apply to a med school, they again have the bands. Okay, you've gotten an average MCAT score, then you're going to get to an average school. If you want to go to a really highly competitive med school, then you need to have good MCAT scores. So again, there is no uniformity in that.
Okay, so for this question, I don't have the context. I apologize for that. It says, what about BA/DO, Bachelor of Arts / Doctor of Osteopathy? Okay. So yeah. I'm not really sure.
I will answer that. That's okay. So the DO, like I mentioned, like you can do a BS degree or a BA, a Bachelor of Arts degree. Okay. So basically what they do is, even if it's an arts degree, the last 2 years, the third and the fourth year, the junior and the senior year, you do a lot of organic chemistry, biology, and everything, and you do catch up on the science to get ready for the med school. Okay, so there is BA/MD as well.
Okay, the next question: would you compare LECOM versus NOVA, and which would you recommend?
Okay, as a as a college counselor, I am a member of IECA, NACAC, HECA, and a lot of associations. And we, if it's a college comparison, we are supposed to do deeper research, give a holistic picture working with a student. So at the moment, I don't have that answer. It's going to take deep research based on what the student profile is, right? So I don't have the answer right away, but if you want to engage me, that's perfectly fine. And I will do all that work for you.
Okay. Are there any colleges on the West Coast that do BSMD programs?
Yes, there are. In Nevada, there is a lot of schools there, yes. So the way I build my college list is I have some tools that counselors use. So I sit with a student and we pick the major, the geographical locations and everything, and we start building our college list as to how far they will go. So I had this student who started off with the East Coast. I said, can you please go to Florida? There are a lot of med schools down in Florida. So geographically, we build the college list. There are definitely a lot of schools in the West Coast.
Okay. How many kids get into the Augusta program, and do they give preference for GA residents? So Georgia residents?
I mean, you cannot say that. The Augusta program is very, very competitive. I don't specifically know the acceptance number of students. I would say 30 to 40 or 50. I don't have those kind of details as such, but like any other BSMD program, it is the acceptance rate is less than 10%.
We also did want to know the average SAT and GPA score for the incoming class.
Again, the rule of thumb is 1550 for a BSMD program and 35 for an ACT score.
Okay. What schools offer 6-year programs, if there are any?
I don't really recall. Some Texas schools, I believe. I'll have to do research on that. My students don't prefer the 6-year. I don't recommend that. So I don't have it offhand, but I can look and I can answer.
Okay. Where can we watch your earlier presentations?
They are all on YouTube and on my Facebook group. I can share my Facebook group, Pioneer Parents. You will find all the previous Facebook Lives and webinars out there. Yeah, I just chatted the link, yeah.
Okay. Someone also wanted to know, can you add the link to the college planning webinar as well?
Sure, go. I mean, like Facebook group, you can go there and search for the webinar and you'll get it.
Okay.
All in the Facebook and my YouTube channel as well, yeah.
If a school does not offer IB, is that a disadvantage? Should I consider moving to an IB school?
No. Like colleges, they prefer AP and IB both. There's no preference like that. Okay, there's no need to like change your life for that. No, they consider both. They don't pick one over another.
Okay. Can you please give details on unweighted or weighted Can you please give details on unweighted or weighted GPA does the college look for? If the school does not do the weighted GPA, how do we convert it to unweighted? Or if the school does the weighted GPA, how do we convert it to unweighted?
Okay, so when you apply for your Common App, it's not like you have to put in the unweighted only. When you start applying for the Common App, you can put the weighted GPA as well. So what schools do is if you don't have the unweighted GPA, they have their own calculation to convert it in. Okay, so it's not like you just need to have the weighted or the unweighted, but most schools prefer unweighted, and the BSMD program is nearly 3.9 to 4.0 is the unweighted GPA.
Okay. Someone was also wanting clarification. Did you mean the top 10 students in the class or the top 10%?
Top 10%. Top 10%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can we view your previous webinars?
It's all on the Facebook group and on my YouTube channel. I'm going to give you my YouTube channel as well. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, my Facebook group is the best page to go, but I'm going to also give you my YouTube channel.
Okay, so
yeah, my YouTube channel and my Facebook group, yeah. Great question, guys. Keep it coming.
Okay. Will my acceptance be affected if my charter high school only has 11 APs to apply for?
Okay, so that's a great question, but the thing is, your counselor would send a school secondary report. So the colleges will look at the school secondary report, which your counselor will say that, hey, only these APs are offered, and a typical student takes a max of this AP, and the student A took this many. So it's the school secondary report that matters, not the number of APs. So if your school is offering only 11, then only that will be reflected. If your school is offering 25, then 20 or such APs will be reflected in your transcript. Great question.
Okay. The SAT or the SAT or MCAT, which is needed for BSMD? I believe it is both.
Yes, you need the SAT to get in, like I told you, the 3-step, right? Get in, you need SAT scores. Then the MCAT is needed when you're transitioning from your undergrad. You're going into from BS to the MD program. That is when they have these MCAT exams. Okay, so MCAT is an entrance test for the med school. Yeah.
How many hours of shadowing is needed for BSMD programs?
A lot. To answer your question, a lot, but you just don't do shadowing. Sorry, I took it as volunteering. It's shadowing, right? It depends as how many hours you get. I'm sorry, I mixed it up with volunteering. If you get an opportunity, do as much as you can, right? If you're getting limited time, you can't help it, but do something.
How does a student get into a program where they can participate in research?
You mean, I offer the research program. They can join my summer research program where they work with Professor Dr. Raj. Like secondary research, research is also a very, very popular research these days in the coronavirus.
What examples would you recommend for leadership?
Can I please interrupt? Do you have something for the fall too for for the research program?
At the moment, I only have summer. During the fall, I don't offer them because they're busy with their SAT, ACT scores. They're very busy with their SAT, ACT exams. So it's only summer. Dr. Raj is available only during summer. So that's why it's summer. Great question. Thank you for asking that. And opportunities like this don't come by. So you should grab them. Yeah.
What examples would you recommend for leadership positions for this program?
Basically community service, right? You need to be consistent with a community service and see if you can go up the ladder in the specific community service. Like for example, my boys, they go to this place where they refurbish computers and everything. They started off and then slowly they became manager, or sort of they started mentoring other kids, right? You need to have a lot of consistency and take on more responsibility and show yourself contributing. Yeah.
Are the applications to colleges and the respective BSMD programs separate?
Summer, yeah. August, then you submit it in August, then there is a deadline. Yeah, it's all in summer.
Okay, so they're separate?
Separate, yes, they are separate. Like I mentioned, it's a 3-step process, right? You first get into the college, the Common App. You get an acceptance into the college, and then they invite you to apply to the BSMD program. So that's a separate process. I sort of went over that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole different application where you have to write so many essays, give recommendations, and all that. It's another application. And then there is an interview. So it's a 3-step process.
Will this recording be shared later on? I might as well answer that. Yes, this recording will be shared out as soon as it's finished.
Yes, as soon as it's finished, whoever has registered, I have an automated system where I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and I'll put the link in and you will get the link. Yeah.
Does being good in athletics help with, Does being good in athletics along with having a good GPA help in your admissions process?
Yes, it does. Athletics is also good in looking at well-rounded students, not just academics. So academics, athletics, fine arts. All these are like wonderful extracurricular activities.
Okay. Someone asked for your charges for Bsmd program help. Okay. I did link your website. Yes. Is that fine?
So the thing is, you are going to get an email where we'll have a discovery process where we will go over your student's profile, and that is when I will be able to give you my charges. Yes, I will be putting the link in the email, where only students who are in the junior program can schedule a call with me if you're interested in the comprehensive college counseling. And you can schedule a call with me where I'll go over the different options that are there, and I'll give you my charges. Yes, great questions. Thank you for asking. I forgot to mention that. Fantastic.
What are various platforms for high schoolers to submit their research apart from the Journal of High School?
I don't know. I have done so much research myself. None of them are legitimate. Okay, none of them are legitimate except for this one. Like, I did a lot of research, and they either ask you for too much money or it has no value because it's not peer reviewed, right? You need an expert who will go over your research paper, peer review it, grade it, and publish it, right? So there are very few publications that do that. And Dr. Raj, our researcher professor, is building his own publication website where all experts will publish their papers. There are very few places that accept research from high school students. They are high school students, right? So great question. Yeah.
I am a student interested in neurology and also interested in doing research. How do I start?
Fantastic. I mean, you can join my research program and do research on neurology. You can go over and see, oh yeah, my student okay, great. I have to tell you this. I had a student who suffers from ADHD and hyperactivity and everything. And his question was, why am I like this? Why do I have to take medicines? I want to research on neurons and why are the brain neurons then? He's done a wonderful research paper. He's written a research paper on the neurology and the neurons, the way they interact. And I have another student whose brother was autistic. So she did research on how essential oils like sort of help with calming down and everything, and write all the molecular weights and all that. Like Dr. Raj really guides students into writing that research program. Yeah, you can join my research program and we'll guide you. Yeah.
Which grade should we start preparing? I'm assuming for the Bsmd program.
Your clock starts ticking in grade 9.
Okay. Yeah. This is a bit of a fun question. Why did you choose the name Gifted Gabber?
Oh, fantastic, because it matches with Gabber Singh. I'm just kidding. Okay, so good that you asked this question. Actually, my son, when he was 15, he wanted to do a lot of stuff. And he wanted to start a company, and I hired him a success coach and everything. He wanted to teach people public speaking, and he named this Gift of the Gab, Gifted Gabber. And he just went to college. And anyway, I spent so much time and everything to build the DBA for this company. So I continued with the name. Yeah, I like the name Gifted Gabber, Gift of the Gab. You need to be smart, and that's the whole core thing about our company, is to help students do better in life. So the name just goes well with it. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm a 6th grader wondering if there is any pre-work I can start, internship, volunteer, summer program, etc., before entering high school. Do you have any suggestions?
Sure. There are so many programs that we offer. You can even write a book. We offer this author program. If you can write a book, then there's coding programs, and there's so much that you can, I'm not sharing my screen. How fantastic. It's on my website, giftedgapper/summer, that you can do. And I have this wonderful girl, Isha, who comes to my internship program. She's 7. She creates such marvelous content. Right, so just go to museums, like explore science, do experiments, make mistakes, and learn. Wonderful. Yeah.
Do you need to take both the SAT and the ACT?
No, only one thing is counted. Only one thing is counted. But I have a shotgun approach where I have my students take both the test and see where they score well. But you need only one score.
When you were reviewing the Bsdo program, you mentioned that 60% of them go into the mainstream. But what about the other 40%?
They continue doing the osteopathy path and everything, which is the holistic muscular, like their whole philosophy is different about treating a patient. So they go into they stay in that osteopathic traditional field. Some of them come into the mainstream and start practicing allopathy, which is the modern medicine.
What is the grade to start this in?
9th grade. Yeah.
What % get into the Bsmd out of your total students? I mean, the success rate of your students getting into the Bsmd program.
It would be 100% because when they come for Bsmd, so far it's been my students who came in, they've gotten into the Bsmd program. Which is
most of the, yeah, continue.
No, go ahead.
Are most of the colleges that offer combined Bsmd programs private colleges?
No. University of Alabama, they're all state colleges. Penn State is state colleges. University of Pittsburgh is state college.
Do you have a compiled list of your Bsmd colleges?
Yes, you will be getting a list. That was part of the deal, right? Yeah. I'll be sharing that.
Does Bsmd also need an MCAT or SAT?
Yes, it is the same thing. Yeah, to get into the Bsmd program, you need to have an exceptional SAT score. There's no difference. And again, MCAT. So yeah, so yes.
My son will be a senior next year. We are interested in research. We're going to India this June. He has conflict with 3 research classes in June. Can we make up these classes? Do you have any suggestions?
You can make up. The thing is, we are very flexible. Everything is recorded on the learning management system. He can watch it from India. I'm just going to show you how our program is designed. We do know that students won't be able to apply to, attend all the college. What am I talking? All the sessions. So basically everything, we have a learning management system. We have a TA, we have just about everybody who coordinates this program. So if you see here, everything is recorded here and everything, you can replay it. Homeworks are here. It's a super, super organized program. If you just do all your homework, your research will be done. Like for example, this is the recording of
Google it. Yes.
This is how
I did cell molecular biology summer course over at UC San Diego, and recently this summer.
So all the students will get an opportunity to every week by week, everything is recorded. This is week 2.
Modify the genes to fight against whatever the infection happens.
Yeah,
because
so like everything is recorded, and we make sure we completely understand that it is like it's mostly a lot of student work. We guide them, right? So yeah.
You had mentioned about students interested to go to Florida. Does Florida have the most medical schools?
I seem to like Florida. I in my opinion, I did see a lot of Bsmd programs down there. Yes, much more. Yeah. Bsmd, Bsdo, pre-med. Pre-dental, a lot of schools. Yeah.
Is there another webinar for STEM courses?
No, I'm done with webinars. I'm so exhausted. I'm done. I'm going to get so busy with college counseling. I'm not going to have any more webinars and the research program and everything. We are done with webinars. I have a lot of students that have to focus on the college counseling. I only work with juniors, yeah.
Can a rising senior apply for this summer research program?
Absolutely. It looked exceptional in their college profile. Absolutely. It's very, very important. Right. So that is most of my students are junior to senior. I prefer them because they would have finished their AP biology, and Dr. Raj is very, very particular about knowing the molecular structure and everything. So Molecules That Change the World is a very important book that they need to read. They are much more mature, and it helps them even better in their college admissions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Most of my students are that. Yeah, great question.
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah, I put the YouTube link, yeah.
Okay, my ISD are hardly compared to other ISDs, so getting into the top 10 is extremely hard. Do colleges take that or look at that when making decisions about acceptance?
It doesn't matter. Like I said, school secondary report is what they look at, so it doesn't matter.
What is a good age to do a dual enrollment program? And what college would be a good place to do a dual enrollment program in?
The easiest place where you can do dual enrollment is within your school. Like our Downingtown School District, they offer dual enrollment. Certain AP courses that you take, you get dual credit from University of Pittsburgh, like calculus, BC, computer science programming, all these have. So first look into your school, what they offer. Who do they have tie-up with? Right? And do that first. And then you have community colleges, then everything, right? I don't believe you should overstretch yourself. Like it's not a big deal. First do all the courses that are offered in your school first. Exhaust the APs first. Then go outside your school. And see if your student is really capable of handling that load.
What is Augustus?
Augusta is a medical school where my student got into, Augusta Medical School. It's in Georgia, yeah.
Okay, you get this question every webinar. How many AP courses should I take?
How many is your student capable of doing? How are they doing in the prerequisite course? What are the grades that you're getting? Is your child submitting their homework properly? What are the scores that they're getting in quizzes, right? That depends on it. If you're getting a B or a C in pre-calc, you are no way eligible to take calculus AP. So it's not how many courses, it is whether you can really take that load, right? That's the answer. I know overzealous, over-ambitious parents, they think, oh, my child needs to do AP no matter what, and they pile on AP courses and the kids struggle, right? So please stop doing that. AP is not like you go shop for a car or you buy clothes. You have to see if your student is really capable of doing it. Because if you get a bad grade in AP, your whole GPA is going to look bad. Your transcript is going to look super duper bad, right? So please check, how are you doing in the curriculum? Like, is it in alignment with it? The homework submission. So the place where you need to start is go look at your child's transcript. Right? The transcript and also their Schoology or the portal that is there, and see how they're doing. How are they scoring in quizzes, in the prerequisite, right? In the honors biology, how did they do? That is an indication of whether your child is capable of doing APs or not. Yeah, good question.
What are the average SAT/GPA for a Bsdo program? I know the Bsmd are much higher, but I was wondering what the numbers were for the Bsdo program. Thank you.
Yeah, so Bsdo, to be competitive, I would say the basic thing is 1530 above. GPA is like 3.9. Right.
Is it a requirement to take dual credit courses when I am a junior and about to apply for colleges?
There's no requirement, right? So it's not like one factor that takes you into college. It's like, have you exhausted all the APs that you've taken, right? Is it offered in your college? I mean, in your school? That's the way you look at it.
Who is eligible to do the research program? I mean, which year is best to do the research program? My kid is a sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore is, we accept sophomore students, but I'm warning you, it's a very rigorous program. We need a lot of work because they have 2 classes a week. One is with Dr. Raj to do research, to learn about the topic, and one is with me to actually write the research paper. So they are learning there, they're writing it. So we break down the research process the whole way, where I teach them how to write the introduction, the body, the conclusion, the abstract, the hypothesis, and bring it all together. You cannot tell a child to write 3,000 word document overnight. So it's a long, rigorous process. It's extremely tough, but if they keep up with the homework and everything, they can get through with it.
Does being in the musical field help?
Yes, yes. medical schools look at fine arts. So yes.
What grade do you recommend that students join the summer internship to do volunteer work so they can get school credit?
9th grade.
Can rising 9th graders submit research over the summer in your program?
They are in middle school. They're going into high school?
Yes.
I need to verify their level of knowledge and everything. Yeah, because Dr. Raj has a strict policy. It's pretty intense and they need to know a lot of honors biology. So I need to consider.
Where did your son go to college?
Oh, good. He's in Georgia Tech. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Do you screen students before accepting them into your program?
I do a discovery. I don't screen them and I don't discriminate them. I'm not the kind who say, oh, you don't have this grade, so you're not allowed. No, I don't have a screening. I do a discovery process before I get them in. Everybody's welcome. Every child is like Arjuna. They all need guidance, right? So that's what it is. Everybody's welcome.
Do certificates like CPR first aid and medical assistance have any advantage for the Bsmd application?
Like I said, it's a holistic thing. It's one component in all of them, right? We need to look at it holistically based on everything else.
What are some quality places where 9th graders can start volunteering in healthcare in order to filter out whether they really want to pursue a career in medicine/healthcare?
There's so many places that they can volunteer: community service, church, anywhere. Initially in the 9th grade and all, you just explore. It does not have to be completely in the medicine. Any volunteering is good. Yeah. Sorry, I muted you as well, Dia.
Sorry. I'm in New Jersey, moving to Pennsylvania this summer. Most of my friends recommended Downingtown middle school/high schools as the school has a high graduation rate. Any thoughts?
Great. I live in Downingtown, fantastic school district.
For research program, how many hours do the students need to put in?
A lot. A lot. It is like the amount that you put in is what you're going to get the results in, right? It's summer. So that is why we conduct it in summer, because they have time for it. Research has no end to it. The more deeper you research, the deeper that your paper is going to be. If you do like a surface paper, it's not going to get published in a journal. So it's all dependent on the amount of effort and time you put in. It's a lot of hard work.
Do you help identify a research topic in your program?
Yes. So what we do is we take the students through a journey. That's the first session where we go over their general area of interest. We help them with the topic, but we know students will come back and say, no, I don't like this topic. I want to change. That's perfectly fine. We want students to explore. So yeah, one student started off with, oh, I'm going to do flesh-eating organisms, how it will cure cancer. She started off, it's a great idea. But when she started doing research, she found that it was a very new field and she was not going to get a lot of information. So she changed her topic. So we guide them through that. It's a process of self-discovery. They just love it.
Do you give counseling from freshman year?
I am finishing up. I do have counseling, but I'm just finishing up because the school is ending. I'm not taking any more freshmen. But this year, when the school starts, I will be starting, yes. Freshmen, sophomore and everything. Right now, I did start a program in February. So the thing is, I take a break during December and Jan because I'm so burnt out after college admissions. I'm just about to collapse. So I just go to India. I have business in India as well. Then I come back and I start the counseling around February to May, and we do that counseling for freshmen. And right now, I don't take any people other than the juniors for the summer and college application. Great question.
How often do you offer research programs? Can high school freshmen join the research program?
Summer. because we've seen that it's extremely difficult with their APs and everything to balance the program. We had it in fall, but the students had SAT, ACTs. December is a very popular time to take SAT, ACTs. So it's very difficult. They have to focus on their academics. So we like summer, and Dr. Raj, all of us are available in summer. Yeah, so summer.
Is your research program 7 weeks?
Yes. It goes over that also, 7 or 8 weeks. The final, we give them enough time to complete their research paper. Yeah.
What are the best BSMD programs in Florida?
There is more SANI. There is NOVA Southeastern, Florida Atlantic, University of South Florida, University of Central Florida, a lot of them.
When does your research program start? I know you've already mentioned this, but
June. It's on the website. I put the link. Please check that. June 24th, 17th. I don't remember. Sorry, I have so many programs. Sorry, June 13th. Yeah, sorry about that. June 13th.
What do you do if your school does not allow you to take more than 8 classes in a year, 5 out of which are mandatory? So there's not much of a scope to take APs.
That's okay. You can't help it. Like most of the schools don't allow APs in the freshman, sophomore year, and it will be reflected in the school secondary report. So it's all right.
Is there a fee for the initial discovery process in your research programs?
There is no discovery for the research program. You have to sign in for the research program.
Okay, so what was the discovery program for again? Sorry.
It was for the BSMD comprehensive.
Okay.
I have 2 programs. Yeah, I'll explain that. Thank you for asking. I have 2 programs. So any questions you have about the research, you can like email or anything or register. For the BSMD program is where I have a discovery process where I gather information from the parents and also the student profile, and then we go over the plan.
Is there a fee for that?
There is no fee for the discovery process for BSMD.
Okay. Is this only for BSMD? My daughter is interested in a nursing program.
No, we do all kinds of med programs. So yeah, it's not just, I do all kinds of college counseling. This one, this webinar was just to go over the BSMD, but I helped with all of them.
I noticed that you had Harvard Pre-Med listed under BSMD. Is that true?
No. No, it was Harvard Pre-Med, not BSMD. She got into Harvard Pre-Med.
Okay. Your research program again starts in June, correct?
Yes, June.
Okay.
I forgot again. June 16, 14. I can't remember.
How much does it? Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
This is another cost question, and I noticed that you did put your website linked underneath that. So
yeah, it's $775. I have a coupon running for $25 that you can apply today, summer 25, and it's going to get filled up. Yeah.
In high school, is it helpful to take a phlebotomy course to complete the healthcare pathway?
It depends on the student's interest. If the student is interested, definitely.
Are there any BSMD programs in UC?
UC, they have pre-meds mostly. UC Davis is very good for the pre-med track and everything.
Can a student join the research program alone, or do they need to join a student consulting first?
What's student consulting? I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
You just go online and register for the research program. Yeah, just go register and save your seat, because it's going to get closed soon.
What can a rising 9th grader do during the summer?
Explore different opportunities that are out there. Extracurriculars, like do some volunteering, like learn a new skill, right?
Okay. So this, I think, is in relation to the previous question. For publication in the Journal of Student Research, the first author has to be a college student, not a high school student.
No, it's for high school students.
Okay.
This program is for high school students, not a college student.
Okay. With that, we have reached the end of our questions. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Remember, there are no stupid questions here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm going to put the link again for the research program. Then to sort of schedule schedule a call with me, you can. I will be sending an email with my Calendly link. That's only for juniors. The rest of them you can like call the phone number on my website and email. If you're interested in the Bsmd counseling, you can schedule a call with me. I will be sending my Calendly link, and all the very best. Take care.
Oh, one more question. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about the Bsmd program at FAU?
What is FAU? Florida Atlantic University? Yeah. Absolutely.
Leadership, Public Speaking, and Entrepreneurship Level 2. What is the duration of this summer program?
It's about 7 or 8 weeks. Everything is going to get announced on May 7th. I'm still working with the instructors and everything to put the things. So my whole team is working. You will see the thing. Junior students, meaning current junior students who are applying to colleges are who I'm taking for counseling. Okay, yeah, you can email me and we will schedule a call where I will send you a link for the discovery process to go over the whole process. If you're interested in the research program, you can enroll in it. Okay.
Okay. And with that, I believe we've reached the end of our questions.
Wonderful. A big round of applause to Dia for being a wonderful moderator. She's a 9th grader. Can you believe it? This is what your kids have got to do. She's my constant. She's always there in my webinar. And yeah, like I have so many internship programs and everything that I'm developing. And I love working with teens. And that is where I am like, that's my passion. I spend day in, day out with these wonderful youngsters. So yeah, take care, guys. And thank you very much. Yeah, subscribe to my email list, my YouTube, and be on that so that you will get to know what is going on my Facebook and email list. Okay, bye now.